Did you know that the United States has fallen to 24th place in the World Happiness Report? What does this mean for a society growing more isolated and politically divided? Stay tuned as we explore how we can rebuild trust and foster connection in our communities. The latest edition of the World Happiness Report shows a dramatic decline for the United States, now at its lowest ranking since the survey began back in 2012. This is not just a blip. It points to a deeper systemic issue of rising social isolation and a growing political divide. History tells us that nations with deep divisions often face the challenge of reconciling idealistic identities with harsh realities. But there's a twist. The report links declining happiness to economic metrics, yet the evidence suggests something more complex, perhaps a call for a more equitable society. One of the major factors the report highlights is the rise in solitary dining habits. Since 2003, there's been a shocking 53% increase in the number of Americans eating alone, with 1 in 4 now having all their meals solo as of 2023. And while communal meals are proven to boost well-being, American culture continues to prioritize individualism. This divide between elite perceptions of progress and the lived experiences of marginalized individuals is widening. Meanwhile, countries like Finland and Denmark remain at the top, their citizens benefiting from strong social networks and trust in their communities. In contrast, many Americans, struggling in a system that favors wealth over social connection, are falling behind. And interestingly, nations like Mexico and Costa Rica, with large, close-knit families, are climbing the happiness rankings. What can we learn from these countries, where community and connection are more valued than financial success? John Clifton, a renowned Gallup researcher, captured this shift perfectly. Happiness isn't just about wealth or economic growth. It's about trust, connection, and knowing people have your back. And that's the crux of the issue. What happens when a society prioritizes isolation and market-driven ideals over human connection? The gap between the elite, thriving in isolated bubbles, and the marginalized, who suffer from systemic inequality, continues to grow. Delving deeper into the report, a troubling trend emerges. Deaths of despair are on the rise in the U.S., while declining worldwide. These tragic outcomes reflect the challenges Americans face, challenges that other countries like South Korea and Slovenia are starting to address. Despite all the wealth and opportunities in the U.S., many are struggling with their health and finding it hard to see a way forward. So, how did we get here? And more importantly, what can we do to fix it? This situation mirrors the social unrest of the Great Depression, when disillusionment gave rise to radical political movements. Today, we're seeing a similar divide, with political polarization growing deeper. The report states, the decline in life satisfaction explains the overall rise in anti-system votes, with both the far-right and progressive sides of the political spectrum driven by a shared sense of unease. So what's next? As we look to the future, it's becoming clear that investing in social cohesion and strong safety nets is crucial, not just for happier societies, but for more stable economies. If the Nordic countries can show us the way prioritizing people's well-being, could the U.S. follow suit and transform its deeply entrenched systems? The 2025 World Happiness Report offers a stark reality. While elites continue to profit and consolidate power, the average American is sinking further into despair and isolation. The rise of social isolation in the U.S., with 1 in 4 Americans eating alone, is more than a personal choice. It's a reflection of a failing system that neglects to nurture true community and trust. This contrasts with countries like Mexico and Costa Rica, where strong social ties outweigh wealth, suggests that the real path to happiness lies in the connections we build, not the wealth we accumulate. Countries where trust and social bonds are strong consistently rank higher in happiness. So when will we, in the U.S., stop treating wealth as the ultimate measure of success and begin investing in the social safety nets needed to rebuild the connections we desperately need? What do you think? Are we ready for this change?